website has made it open and accessible to individuals, and it's been very useful for our organization. So I'd like to commend you on that. Secondly, I'm here in two capacities. And first, I'm here as a member of the working group. And I also want to commend the working group for the work they've done. There have been many, many hours of discussions based on the fact that you guys provided information, made it possible for other individuals to grab that information and have some internal discussions, and that has been very, very useful. I feel like the coalition has discussed many of the working groups, has discussed many of the very, very critical details. We've been very thoughtful in the way we've gone about doing it, and we've been able to put that together in some kind of summary or package and then provide that to you. So I'm standing here today feeling like our points of view have been presented, and they've been thoroughly discussed. So the letter that was presented by the working group is one that we stand behind 100%. Then there are just a couple of small things that I want to point out. One is as it relates to 60805. There's some discussion about how one goes about demonstrating their appreciation, and you articulate that one can do that through occupation, academic, and life experiences. We'd like to propose that you include in that volunteer experiences as well. The other thing is that one of the statements as it relates to the subsection 2. In that subsection, we suggest that currently the language reads, a recognition that California benefits by having meaningful participation in the electoral process by registered voters of all demographic characteristics and residing in all geographic locations. We would like to recommend that you expand that registered voters to include all people, all persons. And then the last point I'd like to make relates to subsection B4. And in that section, we indicate one can demonstrate their sensitivity by being involved in both local and in the local area, as well as experiences with demographic groups. We would like to propose that one be able to demonstrate their appreciation by one of the two, as opposed to the language which says there must be both. And then the final point is yes, in subsection B2, we would like to recommend language that would a couple of words that could be added at the end of the sentence where it says after electoral process. We would recommend that we include an improving representation. And that then concludes any comments that we have on behalf of the group letter. And then I'd like to make one final statement on behalf of the NAACP. In the proposed regs, as I said, I believe that the Bureau has been very thorough in its analysis and has done an excellent job in laying out kind of how we should approach this. And I believe that the Bureau has been very thoughtful as to how we include diversity and balance as we go through the process. The one thing that we would like to recommend is that the regulations tend to be silent as it relates to the formulation of the applicant review panel, and that we would like to recommend that there be some language that uses the same principles of diversity that you have so eloquently articulated throughout the materials that you have provided thus far. And that concludes our recommendation. I mean, that concludes our testimony.
I have a question. When you said that that you would recommend us not requiring all of the requirements, were you referring to 60805A? This is going back to the appreciation for California's diverse demographics and geography.
Say that again.
I wasn't. At one point, you stated that we're setting forth requirements, but you thought that we should not. That it would be sufficient for an individual to meet one of them rather than all of them, and I wasn't sure exactly where you were.
Oh, that would be subsection B4.
B4. Okay. And are you referring to?
Let's see. Oh, no, I listed it as 4. There's no subsection B4.
Okay.
In my notes, I have 4. It's subsection B. And in subsection B, we have let's see, where is that? Different backgrounds and from, yeah. In subsection B, the number one example, or the first example in subsection B currently states, working on a project, they can, in other words, this is how they can demonstrate it. Okay. By working on a project or state of statewide or local concern affecting Californians of different backgrounds and from different areas. So this suggests that they're joined together. You can demonstrate it if you have both of these, but perhaps you can't demonstrate it if you don't have both of them.
Okay, I understand now. Do any of the other panel members have questions? No? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I think it's afternoon. Can't tell from this darkness. My name's Steve Reyes, and I am an attorney with Kaufman Legal Group that has been working for some time with the folks that have been involved in various stages of Prop 11, including these suggestions for revision of the regulations. And the point I have here is fairly simple and quick, and it's with respect to the Phase 2 application process in 60847, particularly with the criminal history language. And on one hand, the language in the regulation just broadly asks seeks information regarding an applicant's criminal history. I think, again, with echoing some of the earlier comments, that fairly broad request could deter some applicants from wanting to pursue this if it will include everything under the sun. I should note that your draft application does limit it to felony convictions, which is great, and I think reflecting that also in the regulations will help increase that confidence that it only will be in the final version so restricted. I think also our suggested language includes some additional points to help clarify that it include guilty pleas as well, and not just felony convictions. Not being a trial or a criminal attorney, I think that that still works and will help you get at other things that necessarily don't flow from strictly criminal convictions. The final thing I'll say is with respect to the Eugene and the Malda